At 24 years old, Rita discovered that she had cervical cancer. Nearly all cervical cancers are caused by an infection with certain strains of human papillomavirus, HPV. She will be sharing her story today to sensitize the public to prevent HPV-related cancers by getting vaccinated.
Hi everyone, I'm Rita. I got diagnosed with cervical cancer at 24 years old. When I tell you I was the most normal 24-year-old you can ever imagine, I mean it. I had met the love of my life and I was planning on moving with him. I started working with my mother and I was helping out in a pharmacy. I was a tech guru and owned as much Apple gadgets you can even think of. I loved cooking, although I'm not very good at it. I also enjoy reading and hanging out with my friends. About 6 months into my relationship with David, my boyfriend, I noticed that I was experiencing pain, severe pain, between my abdomen and my thighs. I would wake up almost every morning with pain.
I think we met at her mom's pharmacy one Sunday evening, and for me, it was love at first sight, and it went uphill from there. I didn't think twice about telling her how I felt, and I could tell it was weird, but I knew she would come around real quick. After some months together, she would complain about having pain. It worried me, and I suggested she see a doctor, but she would always say it wasn't necessary and that she would continue taking pain meds.
I usually took ibuprofen, which made me feel better for a while. I also started to bleed after sex. I waited almost an entire year before going to the doctor. I was the person that would only wait to go to the doctor until it was really bad. I was putting off my regular pap smear because I didn't think it was necessary as a young woman, especially one in her 20s. One day, I decided to visit the doctor. In my mind, I knew this was just going to be a quick visit. I just had to go in, get a quick test, drive back to the pharmacy, and obviously meet the love of my life, David. I didn't realize things were about to take a very different turn. I thought to myself, oh, it's probably just a urinary tract infection. And the doctor is just mostly going to prescribe antibiotics. And voila, that's it. It wasn't until she made me call to go and see a specialist. I kept thinking, God, I beg, God, please, don't let it be serious. Don't let anything bad happen to me. I really should have come to the hospital a long time ago. I started blaming myself. I was worried about the outcome. My heart was also beating so hard. I was so scared. Being in a state of extreme shock, I called my boyfriend and told him what had happened.
I remember being asleep when Rita called. She sounded scared and I could tell something was wrong. I got ready in about 5 minutes and rushed to the hospital. She was still in the doctor's consultation room when I arrived. I texted her I was in the waiting room.
The specialist came in. She asked me some questions. She was very kind. Bless her soul. She was also patient with me. I shivered. I also screamed while she was taking the samples. But she was very gentle and understanding. After she was done with the examination, she told me the results would be ready by the next day in the afternoon. And she left me in the room to change. I got dressed, walked into the waiting room to meet David.
The look I saw on her face as she walked towards me was one I had never seen before. She looked scared and kept on saying she had a very bad feeling. I tried my best to calm her down, but to no avail.
The following day in the afternoon, I went back to the hospital to get the results. The specialist made me wait for some time and come into her office. And I remember the exact words she used. I'd like to inform you, madam, that the test came back positive. There's a tumor in your cervix and it is cancerous. She proceeded to explain to me, but I just heard nothing. My worst fear had just been confirmed. I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I just sat there in shock. I remember that night when I got home, I cried a lot. I didn't talk to anyone. I also couldn't sleep properly for several days. It was the worst days of my life. I kept convincing myself that there is no way, absolutely no way, that I could be diagnosed with cancer. I mean, I was very young. I'm a very young lady. This couldn't happen to a girl who is fairly healthy. Has never broken a bone. Has never even been admitted to the hospital before. The HPV vaccine wasn't available when I was 11 or 12 years old there. And I had learned that was the recommended age to get vaccinated. I did get 2 doses when I was 18, but I had most likely been exposed to the HPV when I had gotten the shots. That is why it's so important to get it earlier. I remember calling one of my friends from school who was also a doctor to get a second opinion. You know, just to be on the safer side. He helped me with all that I needed to know and all that needed to be done. And I got the same answer all over again. I had cervical cancer. At this point, I decided to go public. I decided to announce on all my social media that I was very sick. My main mission, though, was to encourage women to get checked regularly, get pap smears, and get the HPV vaccine so that they would avoid the same situation that I am in. The insanely large amount of support I received helped me to grow stronger as I went through everything I was going through.
Her family and friends have been her biggest support system. Having a good support system is very important, especially being diagnosed with cancer. Because cancer is physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially draining.
I went through 5 chemotherapy sessions, daily radiations, 5 internal radiation treatments, requiring surgical placement, of course, and also an additional 12 weeks of chemotherapy because I wanted to get well, I wanted to live, although I knew that was next to impossible. I mean, a girl can dream, right? I went into huge depression. I was throwing up almost every day. I also wasn't eating much. I could barely get out of my bed for days. And sometimes I would just sit and cry. I was really getting sick and tired of everything. Laughing has actually become my cure for depression. David takes time off work to come and spend it with me. And most of the time, we try to make memories. And we laugh at nearly every single thing that we talk about. It changes my mood in a snap. And I look forward to seeing him every day. Laughing heals all. Whenever I would go for my chemotherapy sessions and I see other cancer patients, it would break my heart, as nothing seems funny to me at that point. I remember my darkest days during those sessions, but I thank God I had such strong support system. My beloved boyfriend, my friends, and my family members were always there to take care of me. And they also helped me get through each day. I want to tell other women, get your regular pap smears and ensure that the girls that are close to you get the HPV vaccine at a very young age. I mean, I feel bad now because I cannot have a child of my own. At the time of my diagnosis, I really didn't care about children. I mean, all I just wanted to do was be healthy and enjoy my life. But now, I live with this huge regret every single day of my life. I feel like the best part of being a woman has been stolen away from me. Vaccination and screening are preventive care. Take advantage of it. Get free vaccination if you're a girl of 10 years and above. I tell you, do not wait or you regret it later. Get vaccinated now. I've lost a lot. My fertility, my friends, relatives, hair, and even my pride. Some of my friends and relatives they just pity me. But if there's something I have never lost through it all, is that I've never, ever lost myself. Never for once throughout my ordeal. I have so much support from friends and from my loving family. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, want to extend my support to every woman out there suffering from cervical cancer. Always remember, you are not alone.